Lidia Dinkova, we're going to go to you with story number 5. This is coming out of The Real Deal. This is a piece that you wrote. I'll read you the headline and read you the first couple graphs. Then I want you to comment. So, headline: after the gold rush, sublease availability grows as Miami's financial and tech firms rethink needs. Subhead: industries once had brokers giddy, but now have 240,000 square feet back on the market. And here we go. First couple graphs. Miami-Dade County became a magnet for new-to-market firms from late 2020 to early last year. As companies gobbled up office space, real estate circles were especially giddy over 2 industries: financial services and tech. Once billionaire Ken Griffin moved to Citadel and Citadel Securities headquarters to Miami, the city's fate as a mecca for financial firms seems sealed. And the tech firm influx to the city led to some rechristen Miami as the Silicon Valley of the South. Yet, financial and tech firms are now the top contributors to the sublease availability in Miami-Dade County. According to a new CBRE report, financial service companies have 128,000 square feet of office space up for sublease, and tech and telecommunication firms have 112,000 square feet, according to Lisette Edelman, who worked on the report. This accounts for about 37 and 34% of the share, respectively, of the county's almost 400,000 square feet available subleasable space, according to the CBRE data. So Lidia, am I hearing that just like we heard a lot about FTX and we heard about crypto in the crypto bros, that Miami was going to be the mecca and they were all coming here and they were going to lease office space? Is this another example of some of the hot button industries that moved here during the pandemic, who are basically packing their stuff and leaving, and everything we were promised and everything we dreamed of isn't actually going to come through to fruition, and it might actually be a nightmare?
So I do think some of the tech firms, there is at least one that packed up its stuff and left back to San Francisco. But in subsequent reporting and speaking with sources regarding financial firms, a lot of people think that they're not going to leave. But overall, the hype that we heard from late 2020, 2021 about the financial firm influx, well, the reality check is that there is an finite amount of financial firms out there, and there's a finite amount of financial firms out there who want to move to South Florida, and it's dried up. It's done. So we just had what was supposed to be 10 years of growth condensed into a year and a half of growth. So we saw this initial spike. It really got everybody getting excited. But now, first of all, they didn't take out that big of an office in South Florida. They tend to have a bigger footprint in places like New York and Chicago. South Florida is more like for the executives trying to make connections down here and so forth. So they need much smaller space. And 2, they are also impacted by work from home. So they are, wary of signing long-term leases and are in effect putting some of their space also that they've taken out back on the market, contributing to our sublease availability.
Now, Lidia, to follow up on more information coming out of your piece, while Miami-Dade County experienced a drop in sublease availability by 107,000 square feet in the past year, Broward County, which is where Fort Lauderdale is located, saw it increase by 85,000 square feet. A comparison between CBRE's report from September last year and this year shows Palm Beach experienced the biggest sublease availability growth from 254,000 square feet on the market. Lidia, what could you tell us about Broward and Palm Beach County, and how do they compare to maybe what we've seen in Miami-Dade County?
So the consensus out there is that Fort Lauderdale was, I guess, trailed Miami and West Palm Beach in terms of getting all these new companies and the new office buildings and so on. So maybe it's going to be Fort Lauderdale's turn eventually sometime in the future. West Palm Beach obviously is the next big thing after Miami and obviously Steve Ross of Related Companies is building numerous office buildings there. Interesting. I feel like the overall sublease availability that came back on the market in Palm Beach County, a lot of it probably has to do with submarkets. Like it says, Boca Raton. There's the big Boca Innovation Campus, the former IBM campus there. A lot of tenants, I've heard from brokers that they're having a really hard time filling up some of the bigger buildings out there. And that's again, because a lot of, let's say for the financial firms, when they move down here, again, they move their executives, they keep the back office tenants like accounting and so on, who take big square footage. They stay in New York and Chicago, but it's exactly these back office tenants who would take up a lot of those vacant buildings that are sitting vacant in Boca, but they're just not moving that particular division here.
Interesting, interesting. Jean, I want to ask you a question. You wrote about banking for quite some time. Some of your clients in your public relation marketing firm are related to the banking or the financial sector. Jean, if we're seeing leasable space come available before the arrival of, let's call it AI, generative AI, what would you anticipate? What do you think AI and the adoption by the financial industry could have on financial institutions, and ultimately, what could that translate to in terms of office space needs down here in the Tri-County South Florida region?
Yeah, a lot of the more sort of more menial tasks would be handled by AI, and so perhaps you might not have as big a head count. But what's interesting to me on the sublease space is that I'm wondering, 400,000 square feet. I mean, the South Florida office market is millions and millions of square feet. So I guess as a percentage of the total space, I mean, the sublease space, at least initially now, while it may be increasing, it doesn't seem like a gigantic amount. I mean, I remember during the commercial real estate downturn, the last one, I mean, we had like vast amount of commercial sublease space, on top of vacancies. So I don't know, Lydia, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, that is true. It's not a tremendous amount out of the overall market, but nevertheless, uh, it's important to keep track of this stuff, because we just want to see really how things are doing instead of relying on the constant hype we hear from brokers and developers that things are great. So
Yeah.
it is interesting in the end of the day that sublease has grew despite all the chatter and giddiness that where the Silicon Valley of the South and West Palm is the what is it, the Wall Street of the South.
The Wall Street of the South. We've been hearing that a long time. We also heard a lot about Bitcoin. We heard about Miami coin. We heard about the crypto bros. So, great article, Lydia.